of the biggest purchases in aviation history. 470 new aircraft ordered from Boeing and Airbus to give Air India a major revamp.
Enjoy Air India Boeing 787 Dreamliner. Amazing feel, amazing features.
The deal includes 400 short-haul planes and 70 long-haul, with 370 more aircraft on option. It's going to cost Air India over $70 billion.
Well, I think it's really the story of India, already one of the top 5 aviation markets in the world. Very strong GDP growth, over 6% this year, and increasingly a core part of international supply chains. From an aviation perspective, though, it has not been particularly well served by homegrown airlines.
The deal has been hailed by world leaders.
मैं एयर इंडिया और एयरबस को इस लैंडमार्क एग्रीमेंट के लिए बहुत-बहुत बधाई और शुभकामनाएं देता हूं।
This means that India has a serious focus in the Indo-Pacific region, specifically on Asia, because it will be operating these 400 single oil planes in this region, and 70 planes will be for the far away region such as United States, Canada, Latin America, Africa, Europe.
And it comes as India overtakes China as the world's most populous country and hopes to emerge as a powerful player on the global stage.
India currently wants to be a global power. Now it is the 5th largest economy in the world, but it aims for 3rd biggest economy after China and the United States. But currently, its fleet is outdated. So to emerge as a big power, it has to demonstrate its connectivity with the world, as more specifically in the Indo-Pacific region.
Buying a fleet of aircraft now gives it the opportunity to go through an incredible refresh. A lot of those aging aircraft will be phased out as these aircraft come online.
Aviation experts say it will take about 10 years for the whole new fleet to be delivered. But the CEO says the first delivery is just around the corner.
Well, the first of the new aircraft comes in July of this year, just a couple of months away. That's a fleet of narrow-body aircraft. The first wide-body aircraft, an Airbus A350, commenced from about September of this year.
For years, the homegrown airline Air India has struggled to compete, losing customers to the Gulf carriers and other Asian airlines. And direct flights to India are reportedly hard to find.
So on its western flank, there are 3 major airlines: Emirates, Qatar, and Etihad. They are taking most of Indian passengers. Similar are in its eastern flank, there are 3 major airlines, that is Singapore, Thai, and Malaysian airlines. So now India has to attract the passengers that are being taken by other airlines. India has a 32 million strong diaspora, and in Air India not being able to provide them the direct flights. So this diaspora has to use the flights from other countries.
India is a very interesting aviation market. It ought to be one of the world's strongest, most vibrant and important aviation markets, but it has for many years fallen behind.
The airline was nationalized in the 1950s under a socialist-leading government. Once a national icon, its reputation was tarnished over the years.
Under the government operations, it became more bureaucratic, and it started collapsing under its own weight. And by 2007, Government of India put a red line for this. On an average, it had double the number of staff from the global average. And also there was sort of that there are so many seats have to be fixed for the government officials, whether at last moment these are filled or not.
In 2021, the airline was privatized, and the new owner Tata Group, India's major industrial conglomerate, is eager to renew its reputation and to make it a world-class airline.
In the 1960s and 70s, Air India was regarded as one of the best airlines in the world. International service, world-class standards, and although the last few decades haven't quite been so kind, we are very much focused on restoring a place at the very, very pinnacle of world aviation, and this order is clearly part and parcel of getting there.
Which aligns with the Indian government's interest as a rising power in the Indo-Pacific.
India being part of expanding in the Indo-Pacific region mainly member of the quadrilateral security dialogue. So it's feeling its presence, and that presence is also being linked through its diaspora, Indian origin people living in those countries. So it wants to connect, and that connection cannot be through the security or through the power, but it is using the soft power. India wants to connect itself with the Western world, and not only connect, wants to develop interdependency.
There's a very, very strong push for the Indian economy to be increasingly connected internationally.
It's thought the ambitious deal will generate jobs, trade and tourism, and bring benefits in travel safety and the environment too.
Indian Railways doesn't have the world's best safety record. It's fair to say it's much, much safer to fly, and certainly than to drive. These new aircraft are significantly better in terms of how much fuel they use, or more to the point, how little fuel they use, and they are significantly more environmentally sound, which is already very positive for the Indian aviation market and for the Indian environment more generally. They emit 20-30% less or fewer emissions than the aircraft they'll be replacing. That is a really significant improvement.